Hello and welcome to today's webinar on phased retirement. Is it right for you? Our presenter today is Sarah Bumgardner, Relationship Manager with AAFMAA Wealth Management and Trust. Before we begin, here's a quick background on the association. This webinar series is brought to you by AAFMAA Wealth Management and Trust. Our mission is to be the premier provider of financial planning, investment management, and trust services to the American Armed Forces community. AAFMAA Wealth Management and Trust is a fully owned subsidiary of AAFMAA. AAFMAA has proudly served America's armed forces since 1879. AAFMAA is a nonprofit, tax-exempt 501c23 member-owned mutual aid association offering life insurance to all branches of the U.S. Armed Forces and their families. Also, a few disclaimers. This presentation is educational, is for general information only, and is not specific investment, legal, or tax advice for any of you individually. Do not rely on this presentation alone to guide your investment management decisions. Since each situation is unique, your needs for financial services will differ. For individual advice, please contact us directly. We produce this webinar series in-house with our own professional staff as a service to our members to help them better understand the resources available to them. We have highlighted here two distinct characteristics that separate AAFMAA Wealth Management and Trust from other service providers. One, our fiduciary standard, which requires us to always act in our client's best interest. And two, we exclusively serve the U.S. Armed Forces community. So, without further ado, I will turn it over to Sarah to begin the presentation.
Thank you for joining me here today to go over the pros and cons of a phased retirement approach. We will be covering the following subjects. What is a phased retirement? Military phased retirements, civilian second career phased retirements, coordinating your phased retirement with your spouse, pros and cons of a phased retirement, accumulation versus distribution, the stages of investing, and finally our conclusion. So what is a phased retirement? Basically, a phased retirement is when a person has the opportunity and makes the decision to leave the workforce in a staged or gradual approach. There are many advantages to easing into retirement, but this approach isn't for everyone. Today, I'll be reviewing many of the pros and cons of a phased retirement to help you decide if it might be right fit for you. We will be talking today about a phased retirement in two parts: retirement from military service and retirement from second or civilian career. How is a phased retirement approach when leaving the military? Imagine the idea that once you leave your military career, you pursue a second full-time job. How is a phased retirement approach when leaving a second or civilian career? Unlike military retirement, imagine that a person might move from a full-time position to a part-time one and then into full retirement. A phased retirement approach allows the individual to better assess their true financial and emotional needs prior to committing to full retirement. For many, that can be a positive alternative to the rip the Band-Aid approach. Phased military retirement. Some military families create an unrealistic expectation of the lifestyle they imagine living on their military retirement pension alone. There are many variables, of course, such as the geographic area they choose to settle in, family situation and obligations, and lifestyle and retirement goals. A financial plan can serve to educate and assist our military families, and often they will recalculate and realign their needs and expenses. This can look at the impact of a second career and the best courses of action for them to achieve their family goals. Phased military retirement. Key items to consider. Life insurance needs. What will you do once you are no longer covered under SGLI? Healthcare needs. Will TRICARE cover your healthcare adequately? And what will be the cost? How about your long-term care needs? SBP options. Should you take SBP or not? Estate planning and updating of wills as you move and maybe put down roots in a permanent location, making sure your estate plan matches the laws in your state. A lot of service members may own homes in different states. How will this be handled? Some more items to think about. Networking, creating a network of people for that second career. What to do with your TSP. Do you keep it? Do you roll it over to another institution? VA disability, if applicable. What income may that bring to you? And a financial plan. Probably one of the most important items on the list. How will you live? What secondary career salary will you need to maintain the lifestyle you and your family would like to live? As you can see, military members have a unique set of circumstances when retiring from service. They will potentially have several streams of income coming from multiple government agencies. For example, a client of mine, Betsy, her husband retired from the Navy after 20 years of service, went from one primary retirement savings vehicle, the TSP, to multiple potential streams of retirement income. TSP 1 and 2 for his GS job, a pension, VA benefits, Social Security, life insurance, and as their picture continues to grow more complex with time, how does their family manage all of this and still feel in control? A detailed financial plan can help lay out and understand the complexities of military income, and the plan can help bring into focus and create a clear path forward. Now, a phased civilian retirement. In this phase, you are now ready to actively leave the workforce, going from part-time work to full-time retirement. It is important to balance the emotional and financial aspects of this phase carefully. Keep in mind, unlike retiring from the military, which meant moving to full-time employment into a second career, retiring at this phase means leaving the workforce completely. No more steady income, no more place to go every morning. It is very important to look into how spending more time at home will change the home life dynamic. How will you continue to afford your lifestyle without steady income? Phased civilian retirement. Some key items to start to plan for retirement from a second career are life insurance needs. Do you need more or less? Long-term care needs. If you or a spouse should need long-term care, how will you afford that? And healthcare needs. General healthcare needs, assuming you still have TRICARE. For retirees, do you need more coverage? Next, we think about estate planning and updating of wills and trusts. Like with any life event, it is good to review your estate plan. Estate plans can change over just a few years. Children get older and more responsible, life changes. It is good to frequently review these documents and update them as life continues to change. Creating a hobby. How will you actually spend your time? What will keep you engaged and active when no longer going to an office? What to do with your 401k? Do you keep it? Do you manage it yourself? Should you seek a professional to do so? How to continue to save. How will you continue to save for your legacy and for emergency items that may come up without a steady income? You may need to adjust your finances. And lastly, we go to that financial plan again. One of the most important things a person can do is have a clear financial plan, a clear-cut path and guidance to your financial future after retirement. How will bills be paid? How will your lifestyle be maintained? And so much more. Coordinating your retirement with your spouse. A quick review and snapshot of phasing in retirement while keeping a spouse in mind. Pre-retirement, making sure contributions are made to a retirement account for the spouse, even if the spouse is non-working, to maximize any tax benefits. as well as to make sure work done within and outside the home is valued equally. In this phase, the couple should also do serious insurance planning to protect children and the loss of the non military spouse. There are many options to explore that can be permanent as well as temporary solutions for protection. And at the end of this phase comes the SBP decision. After military retirement, hopefully a civilian job will afford the opportunity for a more stable post military environment for maybe a non working spouse to find a career. You still want to be contributing to that individual IRAs and 401ks, Roth IRAs. It's more important than ever. Full retirement. This level of planning is the most complex and critical. The couple will need to explore the timing for taking Social Security to ensure the maximum benefit to the non military spouse, as well as the other items we have gone over in previous slides, such as a financial plan, life insurance needs, how to continue to save while living only on retirement income. And finally, as couples think and plan through these phases, the most important thing, of course, is open communication between them. Both should have a clear picture in each phase of what important financial decisions are open to them. One of the most important reasons for this is if something should happen to either party, you want to ensure that both people know what to do and why to do it to ensure the best financial decisions. Having a company manage IRAs and investments can alleviate a little of this stress because the company should have a good pulse and be able to advise through any situation that may arise. Reasons to phase into retirement. Whether it is retiring from military or retirement from a second career, there are some great pros to planning out your retirement and phasing into it. You can better assess your financial needs. This could be a time to ask critical questions. What will your expenses be? How will you pay for them? A phased retirement is a great time to build a financial plan to understand the impact retirement will have on your finances. Better assess your emotional needs. Some people identify with their job as the primary definition of who they are. This is the time to ask yourself, when you don't have that connection, how will you feel? Dipping your toe into the world of retirement or into a second career will give you a better idea if you really are ready to make that jump. Leaving a door open. Phasing into retirement can open up opportunities for meaningful part-time work like consulting, if not ready to fully retire. And leaving on a high note, as opposed to the here today, gone tomorrow approach to retirement, a phased approach can help you feel like you are leaving the good behind. Reasons to stay the current course at work. Drawing a lower salary. While some may want to continue working so they continue to draw a higher salary, a phased retirement lets you gradually reduce your salary to determine your realistic income needs. Too much time on your hands. It can be stressful for someone who has worked their whole life in a very high-paced environment to go to a corporate setting or to just one day wake up and discover all of this free time. While phasing into retirement, this might allow you to start trying different hobbies or pastimes. When restlessness sets in, you have something to do. How will this affect your home life dynamic? We all know the life of military service members means not being home often. So how will the dynamic of your household change when you are now home more than ever? Or when you fully retire from a second career and are home all the time? How do you maintain personal space and alone time when together all the time? Accumulation versus distribution. Lastly, we will discuss two stages, the accumulation stage and the distribution stage. The accumulation stage, when you are actively putting money into an account to grow it. The distribution stage, when you are taking money out to live on or use for other obligations. Imagine this concept, accumulation versus distribution, in terms of your investment portfolio. During the accumulation phase, market volatility, the ups and downs of your portfolio over time, is your friend. Each time the market goes down, you're buying at a lower cost shares. There's significantly more risk in the distribution phase, depending on market performance in the years right after retirement. A very practical peace of mind solution to this is to hold 2 years of expenses, not income, in reserves in a money market account or savings account to access after retirement so that you are not draining your investment portfolio, IRA or TSP, in a downturn of the market. Another is to seek professional advice in managing your portfolio, creating a plan to slowly limit your risk exposure as you age and become closer to that distribution stage. In our conclusion, how will you approach a phased retirement plan, whether from military or second career? There are so many considerations, both financial and emotional. It is a very personal decision that takes a lot of thought. A discussion about these issues with an objective relationship manager might cast some light on your decision process and help you make the best choice to meet your goals and take care of your family's financial needs. So please reach out to me directly to discuss how I can help create a clear-cut path to your phased retirement and ensure your peace of mind.
Thank you so much, Sarah, for that important and informational presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Sarah directly using the information here on the slide, or for general information, go to afma.com/wealth. Thank you again for joining us today. We look forward to our next opportunity to assist you.